All right, folks, this is your rehearsal track for the Bickersons, show one on Friday of the 2020 Radio Theater Festival at South Baldwin Community Theater. Uh, just read along, or this will give you an idea of the pacing and of the kind of performance that we'll be looking for from you at the Radio Theater Festival. Here we go with the Bickersons' Gloria Gooseby Dinner. The Bickersons have retired. Mrs. Bickerson lies tense and awake in the darkness as poor husband John, victim of a rare type of insomnia which keeps the patient in a complete lethargy for 8 hours at a time, offers valid proof of his agonizing affliction.
This has been going on since 9 o'clock. Oh, please, not that again. John! John! Quit it!
Quit it, Blanche.
John!
What?
There must be something that'll put a stop to that hideous snoring. Why do you do it?
Do what, Blanche?
Snore.
Huh?
Snore! John, I'm going out of my mind. For years you've been telling people you've got insomnia. And you not only sleep like a log, but you sound like you're sawing one.
Very funny.
It isn't funny, it's tragic. There's the clock again. 2 o'clock. I've counted that thing, John, 45 times since we went to bed, and I still haven't slept.
Well, how do you expect to sleep if you're going to lie there counting chimes? Well, throw the darn clock out. It's keeping me awake, too.
You wouldn't wake up if we had Big Ben in the room.
Big Ben who?
The house could fall down, you'd never know.
Well, that's not true, Blanche. You know I'm a very light sleeper.
Light sleeper. An hour ago we had the worst thunderstorm I ever heard, and you never budged.
Well, why didn't you wake me? You know I can't sleep when it's thundering.
I'm a nervous wreck. I've got crow's feet around my eyes, my forehead's all wrinkled, and my chin is sagging. I'm beginning to look like an old hag. It's true, isn't it?
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Why not?
I'll be awake the rest of the night.
You do think it's true, though, don't you?
What's true?
I'm beginning to look like an old hag.
You are not beginning to look like an old hag.
Why did you emphasize beginning?
All right, you're not beginning to look like an old hag.
That sounds even worse.
Well, how do you want me to say it?
So beautiful.
Okay, I look beautiful. Now, good night.
Oh, I don't know how a man could be so cruel. Is that any wonder I'm getting old before my time?
Well, what time is it?
It's after 2 o'clock and I haven't slept a wink.
Well, go to sleep.
You can't stand the sight of me, can you, John?
I can stand it fine.
Before we were married, you used to say such beautiful, poetic things. You don't anymore.
Oh, well, Blanche, how do you expect me to feel poetic at 2 o'clock in the morning?
You used to feel that way at 3 o'clock before we were married. Say something poetic.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty
Oh, stop it. You're just trying to irritate me now.
Well, what do you want me to say?
You know what I want you to say.
Okay, Blanche. When I look into your eyes, time stands still. Are you satisfied?
No.
Well, why not?
That could also mean I have a face that could stop a clock.
Well, if the shoe fits, wear it. I want to get some sleep.
You're not going to make me believe I'm hideous and ugly, John Bickerson.
Huh?
Isn't so long ago I won a beauty contest in my hometown.
Long enough.
I never hear you telling your friends about it.
Oh, Blanche, a man can't go around telling his friends that his wife was Miss Clam Harbor Lighthouse of 1981.
You make it sound as though I was the only girl in the contest. What about my sister Clara?
What about her? Plenty. You won it, didn't you?
I like to hear you talk that way about Gloria Gooseby.
Now, don't you start with Gloria Gooseby.
The way you drool every time you look at her, you think she was Miss America.
I don't drool when I see anybody. And I hate Gloria Gooseby.
Then why do you keep inviting her here to dinner?
I didn't invite her, you did.
Don't change the subject. If it weren't for the fact that her husband Leo is such a nice person, I would have had either of them in the house. And the dinner was awful.
Well, you cooked it, Blanche.
Yes, the thought of that horrible Gloria Gooseby coming to dinner got me all confused, and I ruined everything. The minute I turned my back, the roast caught on fire, and I had to throw soup on it to put it out.
You should have thrown that pie on it,
There
too.
was nothing wrong with the pie.
I hate lemon meringue, and you know it.
It wasn't lemon meringue. It was apple pie.
What was that yellow stuff on the top?
Well, the crust got burned. I had to put some Neosporin on it.
Well, thank heaven I didn't eat any.
No, but your girlfriend stuffed herself with 4 pieces, the glutton.
Well, she is not my girlfriend. And quit talking about her so I can get some sleep.
You wouldn't even look at her twice if she didn't wear those brazen dresses.
I would too. I don't care what she wears.
It's such a shame. Leo's such a little mouse. Believe me, if I were Gloria Gooseby's husband, I'd show her a thing or two. Somebody ought to turn her over and give her a good spanking. I know what you're thinking, John Bickerson.
Well, I'm not thinking anything. Why don't you let me sleep, Blanche?
I'm not going to stand for it much longer, John. You keep putting on that innocent attitude, but you don't fool me. I wouldn't feel so bad except I'm so sick I could die.
What's the matter now?
I'm sick. I get fainting spells all the time. The doctor doesn't know what it is. I know I'll never recover.
No, don't be silly. You'll recover. You've got a healthy constitution.
I have not.
Yes, you have. You had pneumonia, you got well. You had the flu, you got well. You had the mumps, you got well. You've had 60 diseases, and you always got well. I never saw such a healthy woman in all my life.
Well, what about these fainting spells?
No, you'll recover from those too. But if you ever get lockjaw, you'll bust. Now, why don't you faint and then I can get some sleep?
Of all the unsympathetic, unfeeling wretches, if you ever lost me, it wouldn't mean a thing to you.
Oh, wouldn't it, though?
Well, you don't have to sound so eager.
I'm not eager. I'm just sleepy.
It's a good thing we don't have any children. I can just imagine what kind of life a poor kid would have in this house. To have a father who constantly rants and raves, selfish and thoughtless. A man who can't bear the sight of his own child.
What are you talking about?
Me sick in bed and the poor little infant crying in his crib, crying his heart out for a little attention.
Blanche!
Why don't you feel the baby, John? Why do you hate children so much?
Well, because I can't bear them.
I know, but why do you hate them?
Blanche, all you want to do is keep me awake, isn't that right?
You would have been asleep long ago if you hadn't kept me awake with your snoring.
Well, can I help it if I snore?
Yes, you can. Dr. Marvin tells me there's something wrong with your nasal passages. He says you have a deviated septum. Why don't you let him fix it?
I'll have it fixed next week.
You say it, but you won't do it. Let him fix it now.
What?
Go on, get up and let the doctor pull out your septum.
Blanche, are you out of your mind? Do you think I'm going to let that broken-down doctor hammer on my nose at 3 o'clock in the morning?
He doesn't hammer on your nose. He chisels.
You can say that again. I've seen his bill.
Well, you're going to have to do something. As it is, neither of us is getting any sleep.
Why don't you have him sew up your ears?
I wouldn't argue at all if you'd just be nice. For a minute.
You've been up to something again, Blanche. What is it?
I've not been up to anything. I just want to hear you tell me you love me, that's all.
Well, you know I do.
You never say it.
Well, I say it all the time.
Say it now.
I love you.
How much do you love me?
How much do you need?
$50?
Oh, now wait a minute, Blanche.
You promised me, John.
Oh, I know, but I can't give you anything extra this month.
That's what you told me last month.
Well, I kept my word, didn't I? Well, now, what do you want $50 for?
The rent.
Oh, the rent is in the cookie jar.
No, it isn't.
It is, too. I looked there
You
yesterday.
didn't look today.
What? Now, Blanche, don't you tell me that you spent that money on something foolish.
Oh, no. I gave it to a bookbinder.
A bookbinder? Well, what do we need with a bookbinder? Our books are in fine condition.
Not that kind of bookbinder. This man that goes to the racetrack.
The racetrack? Blanche, did you bet money with a bookmaker? Put the lights on.
Now, don't get excited, John. He brought the ticket back. Here.
Oh, a $50 win ticket. How could you take my hard-earned money and gamble it away on a horse? I work my fingers to the bone, and you squander every penny I make. You never see me betting horses. I've never been to a racetrack in my life. What's the name of the horse?
Baldino Ridge.
The bum. A worn-out goat that hasn't won a race since Delmar. Oh, Blanche, why did you do it? Did he win?
No, he ran second.
$50 tossed away. I'm tearing up this ticket.
Why are you tearing up the ticket, John?
Because it's no good. I ought to make you eat the pieces. Oh, this is the worst thing you've ever done in your life, Blanche. At least you could have played him to place.
Well, don't throw the pieces away, John. What makes you sure it's no good?
Well, you played the horse to win, didn't you?
Yes.
And he ran second, didn't he?
Yes.
Well, then the ticket's worthless. Here, watch your $50 go out the window. There! I knew you had something on your mind.
I'm sorry, John.
Now, what's the difference? Who won the race, do you know?
Yes, I heard it on the radio.
Well, who won it?
Disqualified.
Disqualified?
Yes, the announcer said the winner of the race was disqualified.
Oh, I wish I was dead.
Good night, John.